Hi, my name is Beth Hiley here for Board Game Geek at SPIEL 2016. I'm sitting down once again with Viaje Kubaski of NSKN Games.
Yes, hello, nice to be here.
Hello, back again.
Yes, it's always a pleasure.
And you brought us in the Name of Odin, which was getting a lot of oohs and ahs while you were setting it up off camera.
I'm very happy to hear that. In the Name of Odin is a game about Vikings. It's the first designed by Krzysztof Zięba, he's a first-time designer, but he's been a passionate fan of Vikings and all things Viking for years, and well, it was quite natural for him to create a game with a Viking setting. So, since this is a Viking game, it's going to be all about raiding, and we have raid cards here in the middle. Now, to be able to raid, what you have to do is you have to have a few things. You have to have a ship that will take you far enough. So basically, there is the distance, and you have to have a ship that will take you where you need to go. Now, the next thing you need a leader. So every now and again you can take a leader, and that leader not only will be able to actually, lead your people, but also will give you a special ability that you will be able to use either during the raid or back at home. And apart from that, you will also need Vikings. And these are those little plastic dudes and dudettes that you need to get in order to be able to raid a specific place. And raid is kind of a blanket name because you do a little bit of everything. It may be trading, it may be raiding, it may be just exploring. The thing is, each of those places you see on the raid cards was an actual place where Vikings were spotted one or another time, sometimes raiding a monastery, sometimes just coming in to trade.
Always love when we can tie in a little history into our board games.
That is always great. Now, what we do in the game, we always have a hand of cards during our turn, and those cards will allow us to do different things. It's actually very simple what you need to do, because let's say you want to take a leader, so you simply expend a number of those leader symbols that you see here.
This leader's going to cost 2, that leader's going to cost 4.
Exactly.
Enough.
If you want a ship, well, there is a ship here, there is a ship symbol.
Look at that. I have the feeling ships cost 3 ship symbols.
Exactly. Very similar with buildings. Now, buildings, I will just show it for a very short time. Everyone gets their own player board. You get a spot for your Vikings, a spot for your leader, but you also get a spot for 5 buildings. Now, buildings are cool because every building you build gives you a special ability, and there are multiple in the same type. There are multiple different options for the building. They will give you different special abilities. And they will also give you discounts. So, for example, if I want to gather red Vikings, which are warriors, I need to expend a certain number of those symbols. But if I have this in, I will have one of those symbols ready every turn. So you're building a little bit of your tableau, you are managing your hand of cards every turn, and you are taking part in raids. And at the end of the game, every raid you manage to finish will score you points, but at the end of the game you will also get a bit of points for your village.
I'm noticing things that look suspiciously like victory points.
Exactly, and some of the ships, because if you have an awesome ship, people will come and look at it, so this will also give you points. And also at the end, if you manage to gather a nice big combination of those Vikings here, they can also score you extra points, and whoever has the most glory at the end becomes the new Jarl.
How long is a full game going to take?
It's between 45 and 60 minutes mostly, maybe the first time a little longer, but it's actually a very smooth, very fast Euro game. You look at your hand, you decide what is the most optimal thing to do. I have these 3, so if I spend these 3 I can get 6 sailors, so this is one of the things I want to do. So basically, it's a game that flows really, really fast. It's really, really smooth. It's the thing that kind of made us, from day one when we saw the prototype, this was something that made us want to make this game because it really flows fast.
I was going to say, it's not really like you're having to learn a symbol language on these.
No, it's very simple. Everything is on the board, actually.
Right, and I'm guessing with these cards, it's the choice between these 2, so you always have some flexibility in your hand.
Do I want Vikings or do I want to build something? Ships sometimes get damaged, so do I want to buy a ship or do I want to repair the one I have, or maybe, so there is always a bit to think about on your turn.
Now, I'm noticing one of the things that was pretty striking from a distance was also your art design for this board.
Yes.
Even this player board here, did you have one artist was able to do all the work for this?
Well, yes and no. Odysseas Stamoglu did the board, the player boards, most of the cards. apart from the Viking leaders. What we wanted is we wanted to have an ensemble of different artists doing the Viking leaders, and we have some pretty big names, pretty cool artists doing different leaders, everyone doing a few of them in there. So while there may not be 100% consistent when it comes to the style, you can find probably someone you like among the artists that did the art for these.
Well, and if you guys want to check that out, this is In the Name of Odin from NSKN Games. And Blaže, thank you so much for giving us a look.
Thank you.